Can I get a clap? I know I had. Hello everybody, welcome to the Rezzed 2016 recap. We are Looting Party. It's been a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I have lost my voice, but these guys can speak.
We can?
You see. So, it's a little bit different this year. I'm Waistel. We got Niro from last year. This year we have Peanut, Shifty, and Sprinkles. So we're just going to talk about the stuff that really stood out to us and what we thought was great.
Robocraft.
We played Robocraft. I actually have a friend who works on Robocraft, and we quite like that game. So that was good fun.
Went there, complained about party size, said, what the fuck are you doing? We don't want to play a game that's only for 3 players.
Yeah. But the game's been out forever, so it wasn't new, so we already knew that, so we moved on. We got to play the Vive, the HTC Vive for the first time. We played a game called Sluggy's Fruit Emporium. Yeah. Do you want to talk about that?
You had your own little fruit stall, like little 1x1 block thing, where you just got fruit and you gave it to customers. You took their money off them once you got the right fruit, and then you put it in your till and tried to make enough money to afford your rent and live on, basically, with the Vive, because it was on your face. You could see all of these weird-looking aliens and all these weird fruits and stuff.
I was just going to say, we were talking about when we were using it, they didn't set up the Vive too well. It would have been otherwise kind of fun.
The demo situation, they couldn't really set it up as they wanted to. They sort of had to work with the space they had. But we also played a game called Giant Cop, which is Giant Cop with a P. That was on the Vive. No, not Super Cop, not Robocop. That was a really good demo of the Vive. You got to pick up. You were a giant person. Got to pick up little people and arrest them, throw them around, and that was really fun.
I like how you say it like you've done the politically correct term. He was a giant person. We don't just giant is just a bit, an offensive remark.
Yeah, do you want to talk about your experiences with the Vive?
I was really, really hyped about how is it actually gonna be how is VR? Last year we did the racing game. You did, yeah, and well, yeah, that was kind of disappointing for me because you could look around, but I didn't feel immersed at all. It was like, okay, I can control the camera with my head, but that's it. But this time with Giant Cop, it was just like you're in there. It feels like everything. And in the start, they hand you the controllers, and you were like there. They said, we hand you the controllers. You were standing there like, yeah, I'm gonna get the controllers. I don't know when, but I'll feel it. And then at some point, you just see the controllers floating in, and you just know where they are, and that was just amazing. And then everything starts, the screen in front of you, and you're just looking like, yeah, I don't see the pixels this year. And the game was just amazing. And there was a problem with some people hit the ground. I hit the ground too.
The demo set up, yeah.
But everything, it just it was emerging, and I'm now sold on VR.
I used the Vive at another convention. It was on what's the space fighting game?
Elite Dangerous.
Elite Dangerous, that's the one. And I was looking around, you could see like a 3D made cockpit in front of you. Even though I didn't have the proper Vive controllers, I was using the joystick, but they had calibrated the joysticks as well, and you could see the joysticks moving on the screen, and that was quite immersive as well. Using it this time, the games that we used it well for the space area. We didn't have to move around. We didn't go all of a sudden we're just somewhere else, or we had to use a controller to move around sort of thing. We're moving it around.
Another game we really liked was a game called Black and White Bushido, which I think it's just a really solid game. So we did an interview on that as well, so that'll be on the channel, where you are, the level shifts between black and white, and you are either a black or white character, and you fight as ninja. And it was just a really satisfying, nice game to play. And they had a challenge where you could play the dev. They said, beat the ninja. And we arrived there on the second day, and no one had beat them yet. And then I walked up. I played 2 games we've played 2 2v2s, I played with it. We won, but we weren't playing against people who played before. And people were challenging the ninja, losing. But I wasn't feeling very confident, but I put on a brave front. and I fought the ninja, and I won.
Channeled that Ninhogg skill.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah,
It's that blend between, you got the Ninhogg challenge of 1v1 plus a bit of stealth in there,
Yeah.
but like hidden in plain sight. I really enjoyed it. It was a good game. Good game.
So it's like Smash Bros, but with stealth, and it's just simple.
One hit kill.
It just one hit kill. It just works well. So that was really look out for that. Last year we played things like Titan Souls. That was a one hit kill, and it's just it makes it challenging, but it's simple. So it's just something to work with. It just works well. I like it. I think it worked really well for Bushido. Another game we really enjoyed was Vermintide. So which has been on my Steam wish list forever, and I finally got a chance to play it.
Well, Vermintide was it's based in the Warhammer universe with your selection of dwarfs, human, a wood elf, and a witch hunter. I think it was sort of based on TF2 or the whole TF. Not TF, Left 4 Dead. Left Dead.
Yeah, but the actual campaign is similar to Left 4 Dead, so you go through levels, fighting enemies, completing the old objective. But what's special about it is the fact that the way they focus on the combat, and it's got an RPG style loot system, and just the setting of Warhammer is really nice. So it worked really well. So that's one to watch, definitely. Is it out already as well?
All of the combat's all like melee as well. So you've got like shield and sword slicing through
Really
people.
good.
The wood elf's got 2 swords. The mage has a staff, and then if you overuse the staff, you can actually explode. So you've got a sword as well. We didn't see the dwarf.
No, in the demo we didn't have the dwarf. So there were 5 classes to choose from. We only got to play 4. But yeah, just get the game and see it. So that was Vermintide. There were a couple of other Warhammer games there, like there was Warhammer Total War, or Total War Warhammer, which should be called Total Warhammer. But we couldn't really see what was different than other Total War games. There was Man of War Corsair, which is pretty good, a bit like Sid Meier's Pirates. But Vermintide was the best out of the lot. Another game we really liked was Orcs Must Die Unchained. So for those who don't know, Orcs Must Die Unchained is a game a lot of us played before. I'm personally a huge fan of the Orcs Must Die franchise, so is Shifty.
Hell yeah.
So is Niro, who's played the first one, loves the first one. It's a game that's been out for ages. We've been playing since closed alpha. It's recently come into open beta. Very good, very fun. It's like a tower defense meets third-person shooter, meets MOBA, meets trading card game. It's really something. It's really strange, but it's just so much fun to play. So we turned up to the demo, and they had a room set up where there were 2 bays. It's a 5v5 game. So we jumped on the siege mode, which is the versus mode. We went there on the first day, and we played some people who hadn't played it before. We felt kind of bad because we
Annihilated them.
we trashed them. Yeah. And then we came back on the second day. We did exactly the same thing. And then we got an interview with the Gameforge people. Gameforge publish it and manage it, so that's really good. It's made by Robot Entertainment, but they're in America. But then afterwards, we finished the game and we trashed them. And one of the Gameforge people came up and said, "Do you fancy a challenge?" And they said, "Why don't you come back at 5 and we'll play you?" We went,
Hell yeah.
okay, yeah. And we were really excited. We came back, did the interview. We came back, had the game, and
We got trashed.
we got trashed. Yeah, it was really good. It added to the excitement because before there was no challenge playing the people who hadn't played it before. But these people have been playing it non-stop for 2 years ever since it's been in development. So they're always up to date on the tactics, all up to date on the meta of the game. And then we turned up and we're okay at the game. We'll give it a go, and it was really fun. Anyone have any comments generally about the game?
I just loved that because we played the devs, we got to learn some of their tactics, which I hadn't seen before. They'd used character combinations on attack and defense where they would have Ivy backed up with Midnight to make a great team where Ivy would just root people and Midnight would just slice them to pieces.
Yeah. One thing we didn't really think, we thought we want to play well. We didn't have any time to plan. We just sort of got there and we set up the game. And because it was a demo build, we didn't have our own personal profiles with our own traps and our own stuff. So we just had the characters and the basic traps. So we thought we want to play well, so just play your strongest at the selection we've got. But the enemy team, the people who play all the time, the Gameforge people, they did pre-planning. They'd already figured out who we're going to pair up with, which character we're going to focus on to kill first, and we just went in blind, and they We put up a good fight, but they thoroughly trounced us. Yeah, that was good. And we got free beanies, which is amazing. We also got loads of free T-shirts.
We got 2 free beanies.
Yeah, we got one each. We got one on each day we played. The thing is, I was already wearing one the second day, and they just said, "Have a beanie." Thanks very much.
Last year the game was Line Wobbler from the same. Well, you can kind of call it the developer, but he's more like an electrical engineer. So it's not a game that you play on a screen or so. Line Wobbler was like a cat toy, and where you can wobble against and then defeat enemies on a one-dimensional line of LEDs. This year was Knife to Meet You, a knife that's just spinning around above 3 buttons. Then you played with 3 persons, not against each other, but against the machine. Yeah. And the machine would threaten you with
I'm gonna cut you.
I'm gonna cut you. I'm gonna skin your finger, and is that blood that I see? Yeah, it was quite fun. Sometimes a little bit like, do I press the button now? And then the knife comes. Nah.
I'm a big fan of Simple Soccer, and on the Game Boy, Soccer 2000, and Hacksball, one of the greatest football games there are on your web player. Just like a really fast-paced one-button football game. Really enjoyed it. It's really good 1v1. 2v2 is a bit too hectic because it moves too quickly. But 1v1, fantastic. Really quick pace. Pass, shoot, pass, shoot. Yeah, I loved it. Got a free game key for that, so that was awesome.
It's super arcade football.
Avancer was really interesting. It was this AI. You basically were in a space station after being floating in space for God knows how long. And you're there just trying to find out what's happened to the rest of the humans on the space station, maybe try and get home somehow. And you have to talk to a console, which is just this AI who you just talk to, and it won't be cooperative with you unless you ask it the right kind of questions. So you'll be like, "Hi, could you open this door for me?" And it'll be like, "Only if you say please."
You really have to type in the questions yourself. So it is really, it's parsing the text that you write. And it remembers it, like, so if you're rude to it, it will know. There's some point in the game where you will need to go outside to repair something, but the computer has grown attached to you and doesn't want to let you go because maybe you won't come back. You can say, "It's all right, I'll be back. I'll be back." But and then like, okay, I'm gonna open the door for you. But you could also be like, yeah, fuck off, computer, get me out of here. And then we'll be like, okay, fine, and just like opens the door, you go outside, and closes the door and won't let you in till you apologize. So it's a really nice aspect to the game, and like plays really into how you play.
It was one of the ones I wanted to sort of go back to and sort of tell it was a bitch and see what it would do. Because we were watching Shifty do it, and he was like really kind to it and working with it sort of thing. I just wanted to see, he was like, "I'm going to cut you if you don't let me through. I'm going to find your circuit boards. I'm going to fuck you up and see what it does."
Was there a lot of Space Odyssey references?
Yeah, they said they looked a lot of was it Space Odyssey 2000 and stuff like that. They wanted to Moon and all the space ones. Yeah, so they wanted to look at all those things and try and make a convincing but entertaining AI. And because you type all your answers in plain English, it's got this thing where it interprets the text, and if it understands you, it will respond, and if it doesn't understand you, it might answer a bit vaguely, because you've got to remember it's a computer, but at the same time it understands a lot. So you got freedom to do what you want. I really like the concept. So we played loads of good games. There's lots of interviews going up on the channel. There's lots of footage of the show floor. There were so many games. There's no way we could have touched them all. There's so many games we played that we have probably forgotten because there's just so many.
Black Death.
Yeah, they were they were good ones. Tamambo, Black Death, loads. But there's stuff on the channel. We'll be at Rezzed next year. We'll be trying to do some other stuff in the interim, and we will see you another time. Clap.